colleagues joining us this afternoon. My name is Kevin Henderson, and allow me to just extend a warm word of welcome on behalf of our Senior Director, Dr. Chris, or Professor Chris van der Wuffen. Very, very welcome this afternoon to this information session, and we trust that you will find the time very useful. As said earlier on, I'm joined by some of my colleagues, but I think it would be very fair of me to just introduce you to my colleague, my co-host for this afternoon, Ms. Tarisha Pillay. So Tarisha, I was just wondering if you can maybe just give like a high five or a hello or something like that to the audience this afternoon. Tarisha and I will conduct the rest of the session. So Tarisha, over to you, maybe just to say hi.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Hi, everybody. A very warm welcome to each of you. It's so nice to see so many people in this launch session. I welcome each and every one of you, and I hope you enjoy this informative launch session. Oh, back to you, Kev.
Thank you so much, Thor. Also, just to know that, like I said, I'm Kevin, she's Tarisha. We both are working as proposal and design specialists. And what that means translates into a very common sort of understandable translation. It means simply that we have the responsibility of designing the program. So whatever is being offered has been the work of the two of us. So thank you so much for joining us. And I like to keep on using the word thank you for investing this time. Sometimes you can spend time with people, but I hope that you will be able to invest the time with us to help you in your future development as a leader. Thank you so much, Chanel. I thought it would be great for us to give you an indication of what it is we're planning to cover for the day. So I've done the opening and the welcome. I trust that you feel very welcome. Very soon, we're going to go over to talk around the Senior Management Development Program in terms of the context of the program. I will take responsibility for that, and after which I will talk to you around the overview of the program, followed by what are the different modes of delivery, and both myself and Tarisha will speak to that. After that, I will refer or hand over to Tarisha, who will talk about the online learning program and some solutions for organizations. And we would like to entertain some questions at the end of the day. So don't worry, as we invest this time together, we will also have an opportunity for you to ask the questions at the end of our presentation as well. To that extent, sometimes you have a question while we are presenting. You are kindly invited to post your question in the chat. If you feel at that moment that you're scared, you may forget. And my colleague Chanel Bowers, etc., will be keeping an eye on that. And I promise when we get to the end of our presentation, we would go back and just make sure that we've covered all the questions. So keep your eye on the chat. If you're posting a question during the course of the presentation, my colleagues would respond to that as best they can. And if they can't, they will bring it back into the Q&A session, which we will conduct right at the end of the presentation. Well, usually when you are hosting a session like that and in person, you would have told people, please go and check where the bathrooms are. I'm sure you've checked all of that on your side. You make sure that you don't have any traffic in the passages. And now you are set and ready to listen to the rest of the presentation. So if I can ask my pilot, who is just give me some direction. Thank you so much. Let's talk quickly about where we fit into the ecosystem of Stellenbosch University. As you may know, that all universities have structured around different faculties, and we certainly have are no different than any other university. So we are situated within the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences. And then what universities often do is they have satellite campuses. And so we form part of the business school, which is a satellite campus of the Economic and Management Sciences of Stellenbosch University. So at the business school, we have basically two divisions. If you look at my screen on your right-hand side, that is the division who's responsible for the development and presentation of postgraduate courses or business-orientated degrees. And so they are known as our degree division. So all MBAs and PhDs and MPhil degrees, as well as postgraduate diplomas, is being offered by our colleagues at the business school. But in the business school itself, we have a business which is known as Stellenbosch Business School Executive Development. And you're talking to us this afternoon. We are also commonly known as SBS Ed, and the Ed part of that is just for executive development. And our responsibility is to develop leadership and management short courses for individuals like yourself who are working professionals, but are really looking at enhancing the leadership and management capability for their own personal development as well. Thanks, Chanel. So now that you know where we sit within the ecosystem of Stellenbosch University, maybe just to sort of alleviate all anxieties that you may have around what is the accreditation of the program? Is it worth my while to follow a program within this context? So here, let's look at how we are accredited. At the moment, we are quality assured by Stellenbosch Business School. So remember, I referred to that earlier on as the degree division. So they quality assure all our programs. And because we're part of the university, we are accredited by the Higher Education Quality Council in South Africa. So selected region-specific courses are also registered with the Botswana Qualifications Authority, as well as the Mauritius Qualifications Authority. But more importantly, we are very, very proud to say that we are the holders of the Triple Crown accreditation. Now, just so that you know why that is significant, this award is only given to about 1% of business schools worldwide. So it is a big deal because it's not everyone that can brag with this kind of award. And this award is awarded by the Association of MBAs, or AMBA, as well as the European Foundation for Management Quality Systems, or EQUIS, as well as the American Association to Advanced Collegiate School of Business International, commonly known as AACSB. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying that so that you can rest assured that we are no Palooka Institute, but that we are really an accredited, recognized, credible institution. So you are in safe hands when you are following a program with us. Thank you, Chanel. I think also, importantly, what are the modalities that we offer? So allow me to spend a little bit of time here. So currently, and with the advent of after COVID happened, we were able to expand the modalities in which we are offering our programs. So yes, we still have the face-to-face learning environment, and that simply means these are synchronous, live, in-person interactions. So you go to a physical building, and we have physical human beings that you can touch to do a face-to-face program. In addition to that, we are also offering remote learning programs, and remote learning in our context means that it's a live classroom session which is just happening within the virtual space. In other words, it is synchronous, it's live, it's interactive, and the learning is planned and scheduled. So you can't say, I'll do it in my own time, but remote learning simply means it is synchronous, it happens at this time. Similar to what we are having right now, which is we have a live session and you are listening to me and my colleagues so later on lively. But then we can put those things together. So we would say, let's have a program where some of the study blocks would be remote, in other words, synchronous in the remote space, as well as having some study blocks or some parts of the study block within the face-to-face, in-person kind of modality. And then we can combine all those different options into what we would call hybrid learning, and to explain to you what we mean by online, because when we speak of hybrid, the hybrid learning modality could include face-to-face, remote, blended, and all of that together we refer to as hybrid. But I think it's best that I ask my colleague Tarisha who is the program and development specialist in the online space, to talk around what she means by online learning. Thank you. Over to you, Torisha.
Thanks so much, Kev. Hi again, everybody. I think you have really clearly explained the modalities of learning very well. So as you've seen on the previous slide, SPS Ed does offer a suite of learning formats tailored to the realities of modern working life. Because let's face it, not everybody has the luxury of pausing their day jobs to sit in a classroom. And I think that's where the digital mode comes in. So you have to think of it as learning without limits, on demand, scalable, and tailored to your schedule, and not the other way around. So through high quality asynchronous courses, the digital modality somewhat breaks the barriers of time and place, giving participants the power to learn when it works, where it works. So this approach was designed with real-world professionals in mind. So you're talking around the shift workers and retail teams with unpredictable hours, jet setters and leaders with back-to-back calendars, remote workers juggling home offices and deadlines, and of course, our digital natives who like their learning, like their streaming, flexible and on demand. To make it count, we recommend setting aside 8 to 12 hours a week for self-paced learning. But don't worry, we're not there to leave you with just clicking through slides in solitude, but we've built the human touch as well. So we have live faculty-led webinars for insight and connection. We have the discussion forum for peer-to-peer engagement, and a learning process facilitator to guide and support your journey every step of the way. So we'll unpack each of these elements a bit later, but for now, you've got a sense of how the digital modality brings powerful, flexible learning to life. Now let's zoom into one of our flagship offerings, the Senior Management Development Program, which is a carefully crafted experience designed for leaders who want to drive impact at the highest level. Now let's begin by understanding the context behind this program and why it matters now more than ever. And now I'll hand you back over to our very esteemed colleague, Kevin Mr. Henderson, our open enrollment program designer by day and part-time process facilitator by night, kind of like a Cape Crusader for executive education. Take it away, sir.
Thank you so much, Torisha. You are too kind. But just so by the way, before we talk about the context, and I think just looking at the audience this afternoon, so great to see people from Uganda and other countries on the African continent. And I just wanted to acknowledge your presence as well. And I think exactly the times that we are moving in. And so coming back to the context of the program, I think we need to begin to realize that the landscape for leaders are really shifting. As Deloitte in the Global Human Capital Trends report in 2024 said, leaders have an overwhelming amount of workforce data at their fingertips. How many of you know that sometimes data is important, but too much of anything is sometimes really hampering us, our ability to make good decisions? And so Deloitte is saying this newly available data transparency can be both a gold mine as well as a landmine. But also, McKinsey and Company in 2024 said leaders must evolve beyond being managers, seeking incremental improvement to become visionaries with the courage to craft a resonant purpose and boldly imagine and pursue the future. So the question is, how do we help leaders to navigate this shifting landscape? How do we navigate leaders to deal with the overwhelming amount of data available to them, but at the same time, being able to manage their day-to-day stuff, as well as being sort of visionary in terms of where we're going with our organizations as well. And ladies and gentlemen, to this extent, we are proud to say the Senior Management Development Program is one of those options one can take to help you to navigate this as well. So what is it that we're hoping to achieve in terms of the purpose? So the Senior Management Program, therefore, equips senior managers to transform challenges into opportunities and become agents of change for their teams and organizations. In addition to that, they will broaden these managers' worldview and empowers them to become and remain a resilient and an agile leader. I was talking to a group this morning, and I was referring to one of my favorite quotes that says, "Blessed are the flexible, because they shall not be bent out of shape." And that agility is what we would like to develop within our senior leaders as well. But more importantly, what the Senior Management Development Program will do, it will assist managers to shift their thinking towards the future and equip them with tools, techniques, and knowledge to be prepared for a changing landscape as well. Now, what that ultimately means, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're hoping that when you are completing the Senior Management Program, that we are really helping those leaders to transition from being operational or doing operational management into becoming more strategic thinkers as well. One of the modalities that we use in the design of our programs is that we use a model called the Drotter Leadership Pipeline. And as you can look at what we have on the screen, your high potential or the high potential leaders development journey at us or SFVS Ed consists of we taking managers from new managers development program up to executives. Now, if you look at what I have up here, we are therefore also aligning our programs to NQF levels. So from NQF level 5 to NQF level 8. And all that means is that this speaks to the complexity of the material that we will handle within our classroom session as well. So when you look at this little graphic I have up here, you can see in Drotter's pipeline, the SMDP or the Senior Management Development Program really speaks to that turn or that transition from being an operational manager into becoming a stronger strategic thinker. So in other words, moving from a function into moving a business as well. So ladies and gentlemen, now that you have an understanding of what it is the program can do for you, let's look at how the program can provide this for you as well. So ultimately, the ideal person we would like to have on the program would be someone who has some senior management experience. So you can see that we don't require a formal tertiary qualification, but if a person has worked at the correct sort of level in terms of the real, the proper complexity, that would be a suitable candidate for this program as well. So therefore, we're saying senior managers who manage other middle or senior managers who require enhanced skills in agility, strategic insight, design thinking, and also having to deal with change on a regular basis, you would be a suitable candidate to do this program. In addition to that, it is recommended that you would have some foundational knowledge of business and of management. And ultimately, when we look at competency in terms of language, we have NQF level 4, but that's just simply to kind of help our participants to understand that the medium of instruction from a language perspective is in English, and we think that is an appropriate level. If you don't have that, it might be difficult to sort of cope with the pace that things will be happening within the classroom. So when we designed the program, we had to get a sense of what is it that we would like people to leave with? What is it that we would like people, once they have completed the program, to be able to do? So you can see we have a whole long list. So amongst others, it's about integrating strategy. It's about around understanding sustainable practices, looking at financial viability of organizations by using financial metrics, as well as transformational leadership behaviors and strategic initiatives, looking at how can you maximize your staff complement in terms of human capital, solving business unit challenges through the use of principles of innovation, strategic relationships and customer value, but also how to analyze marketing trends to create a marketing strategy, and then lastly, interpret the challenges of disruptive technologies on new and existing markets as well. So those are the learning outcomes we are hoping our participants would leave with. The question is, how do we get there? And in terms of satisfying those outcomes, we have divided the modules into 3 themes, which consist of theme 1 around strategic thinking and planning, theme 2 around organization enablers to realize that strategy, and then lastly around building collaborative relationships. So from a theme 1 perspective, what the participants will be dealing with is around economics, in other words, understanding markets, having a contextual understanding of macro and mega trends, looking at digital transformation. But we spent 2 days on in terms of this program, designing leading edge strategies as well. For theme 2, the focus shifts slightly. In other words, how do we provide enablers to make that strategy a reality? So we focus on the finances, we focus on operational effectiveness and value chain analysis, and then we spend some time, significant amount of time on thinking around innovation and design thinking. In the third theme, the focus is around marketing for excellence, as well as managing your brand, then also focusing on building human capital. But since this is a leadership program, focusing on leadership within a complex world. And we close out the program usually by looking around the issues of sustainable competitiveness. And that includes not only sustainability from a ecosystem perspective, but also from financial sustainability, etc. And so, ladies and gentlemen, those are the modules that we feel will best satisfy the learning or the program outcomes as identified before. So what would be the benefit if you would do these or this SMDP or Senior Management Development Program? Amongst other, and it's not totally exhaustive here, the first benefit would be it will enhance the participant's strategic thinking ability. I think it was Nancy Klein that writes the book around making time to think. And as when people are working within the operational space, they often find that they do not have the time to think. And so one of the benefits is that you will really become quite skillful around creating the time to think as well. The other benefit would be around the program focuses on real world application. And to that extent, it's around the BDAL project. It's a business-driven action learning project. We are really interested in learning rather than just acquiring knowledge. You know, when you have the knowledge, but you haven't really applied that knowledge so that it can lead to a change in your behavior, it still just remains knowledge, but it's not necessarily learning. And so the real world application is really going to enhance your learning process and your effective learning for you as a candidate or a participant on this program. Also, the other benefit would be that you will receive feedback and team coaching from the learning process facilitators. We are proud to say that we use world-class faculty and subject matter experts. And then we also have another advantage or a benefit of doing this program is that there's also the opportunity to get some credits in terms of the recognition of prior learning space that you can get. And my colleague Chanel will post, I think, the linkages within the chat for you. But that's another benefit the program will offer. And last but not least, you become a part of the Alumni Association network of Stellenbosch Business School as well. So let's talk about the modes of delivery. And so I'll quickly talk about synchronous remote learning. And then after that, I will hand over to my colleague, Torisha, who will take us further to speak about the asynchronous online learning as well. So with regards to synchronous learning, I've explained earlier on that these are live and interactive scheduled learning sessions facilitated via secure video conferencing. So what it literally means, we use the Zoom platform. You are present live with the rest of the cohort who's doing the program with you. And in the classroom, we will have two faculty members. The one will be your subject matter expert, accompanied by the learning process facilitator. That program then runs over 6 months, and there's 15 days of contact time, which is the 3 study blocks, the 5 days per study block. And the advantage of that is the fact that that's structured. You know it from this time till that time, and it runs for 5 days at a time. Other benefits of the remote learning space is, like I've already mentioned, the live faculty-led session. And what that simply means is the faculty is leading the conversation, providing input, but also facilitating the conversation within the classroom, where there's the benefit of the cross-pollination of people from diverse industries bringing their knowledge and skills to the party. It's remote, so there's no travel needed. You can actually do this in the comfort of your home. It's highly interactive, as we create many breakout sessions during the day, and you get real-time feedback. So once you've worked on a little activity, the faculty is right there. Once you feedback on the activity, faculty is right there to provide you with feedback. And as I've mentioned, the lovely thing about it is the fact that it's structured and scheduled. You can put it before the time in your diary, and you know you will be there for that time. Having said that, I think let me hand over to Torisha, who will then speak around what are the benefits of asynchronous online learning. Thank you, Tor.
Thanks so much, Kev. So, colleagues, I must assure you that the online version is not a watered-down version. It's not the remote cousin of the in-person or remote program. It's just as robust, just as rigorous. The key differentiation here is the mode of delivery. The program outcomes are exactly the same. The online mode does give you something everyone wants more of, and that's control of your time. The online mode just offers that flexibility without sacrificing the depth of learning. So let's talk about the elephant in this Zoom room. Why 9 months and not 6? Excellent question, because this isn't just a Netflix binge. It's meaningful, it's applied, it's strategic learning. And you'll be covering 10 rich modules, and each module spans approximately 3 weeks long. Why? Because it's not just about reading material and checking boxes. You're watching videos, exploring real-world case studies, interacting in discussion forums with your other peers. And yes, we do expect a great banter in those discussion forums. And you'll be completing activities and assignments that really make you think, apply, reflect, and sometimes rethink. So it does take a bit more time instead of getting it all done in one sitting in the face-to-face or virtual environment, especially when you're also managing demanding jobs, shift work, or let's face it, life in general. So what makes this format so special? And here's where it really gets interesting. This isn't just a login and we'll see you in 9 months' time kind of program. Each module includes a high-touch live webinar, and it's your space to engage, ask questions, share your insights, and learn directly from experts and your peers. You'll also get access to a learning process facilitator who isn't just there to remind you of deadlines. They're your co-pilot, checking in, giving you feedback, steering you into the right direction for your action learning assignment, and helping you stay on course. This structure can work for almost everyone, but it's especially golden if you work shift hours or in a non-office-based role, juggling hours or demanding schedules, and prefer learning at your own pace, in your own space, with your own coffee of choice. So now we've contextualized the program. Let's dive a bit more into the nuts and the bolts of learning for the SMDP. All right, so this program, as we've mentioned, is pitched or aligned to an NQF level 7. Please keep in mind that this is a short course and not a formal qualification. Thus, we pitch our short courses at various NQF levels, as Kevin has mentioned, and we use Bloom's taxonomy to help us with those academic outcomes as well. As mentioned, it is a 9-month-long program, this online program, and we estimate or use this as a guideline that participants spend roughly between 8 to 12 hours a week for their learning. How participants plan to play with those hours in the week is purely left to them. And that's the beauty of online or digitized learning, anytime and anywhere. There are 10 self-paced modules with 10 remote webinars with top-tier faculty to interact with participants, answer any pertinent questions, and share global best practice for making smart decisions in an unpredictable world. There are 2 individual assignments. There's 1 individual activity and 1 group-based business-driven action learning assignment and presentation at the end. I'll now be taking you through the actual program delivery. So let's zoom in on what your learning journey actually looks like. You know how every great story has a plot line, a start, a middle, a climax, and a triumphant ending. Well, this is your plot line, and we call it the journey overview. So think of it as your GPS for the next 9 months. The journey overview shows you how you'll travel through each module from one pit stop to the next, with all your key learning elements neatly stitched together like a well-packed suitcase. So let's break it down. We have module quizzes in our online SMDP. So these are short, sharp, and designed to help you check your understanding. They're not here to trick you. They're here to say, hey, did this idea really land? Or let's reinforce this concept because it escapes into the academic abyss. The discussion forum. Now let's talk about conversation. Online learning sometimes gets a bad rep for being a bit lonely. Not here so much. Our online discussion forums are where the magic really happens. So you'll debate around concepts, share insights, share even spicy opinions, learn from your peers of who you actually can bring totally a different perspective to the table. And it's like a brain gym, but with less sweating. We have those feedback loops, and these are your strict secret weapon. You'll engage with your learning process facilitator, also known as your learning coach, who helps you make sense of what you're learning, connect the dots across all your modules, and prepare you for that big finale, the final presentation and action learning assignment at the end. So they're just not marking your work. They're taking you through a pathway, a path to helping you with your insights into that killer action learning assignment at the end. And yes, this whole roadmap will be introduced to you at the orientation session. Plus, it will be on Moodle, your digital base camp. So you can plan your time, avoid the oops, I forgot there's a quiz panic, and stay on top of your game. So in short, you're not just wandering from module to module like you've lost a Wi-Fi signal. You're on a purposeful, curated journey with tools, people, and support guiding you every step of the way. But yes, speaking of Wi-Fi, you do need Wi-Fi or data to access Moodle and join in on the webinars and feedback loops. The program assignment consists of an individual strategy assignment and an individual integrated assignment, which is based on the learnings from most of the modules put together. And there's one activity with a digital, called the digital transformation, or from the digital transformation module. Just after the orientation session, we'll shake things up with a formal collaborative teams session that dives into practical business challenges and innovations. The business-driven action learning assignment is the heart of the applied learnings in the program. Think of it as your high-impact organization-relevant project that allows participants to translate classroom insights into meaningful business outcomes. It's not just about boosting efficiency, it's about tackling strategic challenges, exploring growth opportunities, and delivering actionable recommendations that matter to the business. Our Learning Process Facilitator, or LPF, serves as your guide or your learning partner to help form your team groups, define their scope, and stay aligned through the journey. Teams will apply theory to practice, blending insights from the program modules, whether it's innovation, strategy, finance, or operations. It's a cohesive and well-argued business case. To make sure that the experience is both supportive and structured, we've built in a series of feedback loops and touch points with the LPF. Think of them as your strategic check-ins to sharpen those ideas, course corrected if you need anything that has deviated away from the course. They will put you back on track and keep the momentum going. And because even the most senior professionals need a bit of structure when juggling multiple responsibilities, we've included clearly defined milestones, providing just the right amount of guidance to keep teams focused and progressing steadily without the last minute scramble. It's not just a project, it's a strategic simulation, a leadership challenge, and it's a proving ground for turning insights into impact. So just to be clear, this program is predominantly an asynchronous or online program, meaning that the content is housed online on our learning management platform called Moodle, and participants can navigate through the content at their own pace. We do have those synchronous touch points, the webinars and feedback loops in your final presentation at the end. As a guideline, participants can spend anywhere between 8 to 12 hours a week going through the content, watching the videos, attending those webinars and feedback loops, and interacting on the discussion forums as well. They will also get access to LinkedIn Learning for the duration of the program. Participants will also have access to Moodle, our online learning platform, where all of our course materials, including videos, quizzes, and assessments, are housed. The platform provides a structured, user-friendly learning experience that allows participants to engage with the content at their own pace, revisit concepts, and track their progress. So this is what Moodle looks like, and we've taken a snippet of one of our other online programs, just as an example. All right, so we also have the option of curating this program designed for your organization as well, which I'll be taking you through, the solutions for your organization. So the Senior Managers Development Program can also be available as an in-house or closed cohort, a structured, ready-to-deliver program designed exclusively for your organization. So it focuses on specific challenges and opportunities faced by your businesses, ensuring that learning experience is highly relevant and impactful. So this option allows you to upskill your senior leaders collectively, ensuring consistency and alignment with your organizational goals. For organizations looking for a tailored approach, we offer the customized Senior Managers Development Program, a build-your-own learning experience. This allows you to select specific modules from our portfolio to create a program that directly addresses your business strategic priorities and leadership developmental goals. Both options provide custom intake dates and course durations with a minimum of 15 participants, ensuring that the program is delivered at a time and a pace that works for your organization. In the next slide, I'll demonstrate how to build your own course option works and how we can tailor the SMDP to meet your specific business objectives as well. So build your own Senior Managers Development Program As you can see, the SMDP offers a highly customizable structure to meet your organization's unique needs. On the left-hand side, you'll see core modules from our foundations of SMDP. These modules come from our off-the-shelf program offerings. The right-hand side, we have the option to select from a range of additional modules from our risk management program, negotiation skills program, and the project management foundations program to create a tailored learning journey that aligns with your strategic priorities. These modules are sourced from our NQF Level 7 aligned programs, ensuring that the learning experience remains academically aligned with the original SMDP structure. This customization process is guided by our Stellenbosch University short course policy, ensuring that the program maintains the academic integrity and alignment with the university standards. To further enhance the learning experience, we are also able to include elements such as face-to-face workshops with faculty, offering the program in a hybrid format. So this ensures that participants engage in a practical, real-world learning with peer interaction as well, creating a dynamic and interactive learning environment. All adjustments and inclusions are made in line with policy guidelines to maintain academic consistency and program quality as well. So the structured approach ensures that SMDP is not only comprehensive, but also highly adaptable, giving you the flexibility to shape your program according to your business goals. Now you may be wondering, what does the consultative process look like? We'll explore that a bit more in detail in the next slide. So let's walk through the consultation process that ensures the SMDP is aligned with your organization's strategic goals and delivers real business impact. The process starts when you reach out to Refuelwe Pheyo from the digital channel or Claire Singh from our open enrollment channel. Apologies, it's Claire Kelly from our open enrollment channel using the contact details on screen. We'll set up the scoping session to understand your business priorities, challenges, and learning objectives. This helps us identify the right mix of core and additional modules to meet your needs. We then align the program design with your organizational strategy to ensure the learning outcomes directly supports your business goals. Once the design is finalized, we'll present the structure and commercial agreement for your approval. After sign-off, the program kicks off. After sign-off, the program will kick off, and we'll provide an ongoing support to ensure a smooth rollout and maximum impact. Also, we offer value add-ins such as expert faculty involvement, peer learning opportunities, and ongoing feedback sessions to enhance the learning experience. This process ensures the SMDP is not only tailored to your business, but also designed to drive meaningful results. I'll now hand you over to Kevin that will take you through the return on investments for the L&Ds. Apologies, Kevin, my screen has frozen.
Okay, thank you so much, Tarisha. And ladies and gentlemen, you've had fantastic time of listening to really, really great information, which we're hoping will help you in your decision in terms of which program you would like to follow. But we thought it was quite useful for L&D personnel to look at what is the return on investment for you. So this will assist you in developing stronger strategic thinking and execution, but at the same time building a strong talent pipeline with enhanced agility, but also to showcase business impact to executives with regards to the business-driven action learning process, but then also in terms of creating customized learning with hybrid flexibility as well. So when we talk about customization, we literally refer to how do we personalize that to your organization in the closed cohorts that Tarisha has referred to as well. And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we would want to say thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for investing the time with us. And as promised initially, this is the time that we will give you an opportunity to ask a question that you may have with regarding to our presentation this afternoon as well. Any questions? Just trying to keep my eye on the chat. I'll go back. I think there were quite a number of questions posed earlier on, and the team has responded to some of that. And I see there's a question coming in. Is there another webinar for the in-person option? Ben, you can either talk to us and ask some of those questions now, or alternatively, you can, at the end of this, you will see some contact detail that will come up, and you can contact us directly. You can contact Charmaine Mitchell, and we can set up something to chat to you regarding the in-person options as well. Yeah. Nomfanelo, I'm not sure if you asked about when does the next cohort start from an online perspective. If from that perspective, I think Claire is in the room, as well as I think Tarisha, with regard to the online. Maybe you can just give the date for the online. And Claire, if I may ask you to quickly just, when is the next remote program starting?
So the online program commences on the 10th of June. That's for the online SMDP.
Thank you. I don't know if Claire, are you still there? I saw you earlier. Okay, we're starting the next one is starting on Monday, the SMDP, Senior Management Development Program. But I don't have the other date after this one available. But I can make that available to you ASAP. Also, with regards to the question around the online or digital certificate, I just want to, I saw one of the PMs present in the room. Sandy, are you perhaps here? Do you mind maybe just quickly answering that question? Thanks, Sandy. Sandy, are you there?
So I can answer that on behalf of Sandy, if you don't mind, Seth. So the digital certificate will be available to download after the statement of results have been issued. Once all the final results have been finalized on Moodle, you'll get an email from CE Credential Trust. It is a downloadable link, but you will not be able to print your certificate. If you need to print your certificate, it goes through our short course division at a separate pricing altogether. They will inform you of that arrangement together with delivery. But yes, that certificate is downloadable. You can upload it on LinkedIn LinkedIn for everybody to see as well, and to send to your colleagues or even managers. And we'll explain more about the digital certificate at our orientation session as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Tarisha. Then I see a question around the next online EDP. Kagiso, we run one EDP for 2025, and there is still time to apply, but the program commenced in the first week of June, and that program is actually a blended program. So yeah, and thank you, Samantha, for giving those dates as well. Then
Tarisha, sorry, Kevin, could Tarisha maybe answer the question from Gary? I think it is on if he has more than 8 to 12 hours available in the week, can he move on faster?
Yeah.
So our modules are released. So we have each module is 3 weeks long. So we release those 3 sub-modules all together. So if he's done with one module and has a bit of time to play before proceeding to the next, it is gated by an assignment or an activity or a quiz. So we have scheduled modular dates, which that module will open, and it is gated. So everybody can have a bit of control regarding how they proceed from one module to the next, instead of everybody just going at different paces at their own time. Each module is gated. behind a quiz or an activity or an assignment. We will provide you with those timelines per module at the orientation as well. I hope that's clear.
Thank you, Dorisha. Then Tando, I see your question is around which is the best modality for you, remote or online? And you're also asking about how will you register if your company is paying. With regards to that, Charmaine and Duncan are the people who can provide you with the processes in terms of if your company sponsors, how do you go about application and registration? And then I would suggest that you consider your own learning style as well as your own personal circumstances to help you decide which one is best for you. If you would like to, we can set up some time with either Dorisha or myself if you want to explore what would work best for you as well. But our colleagues, I think the detail was on the slide earlier. Both Duncan and Charmaine can assist you in that regard. I'm also just going to ask you a question around pricing. Ruthie, I'm sure that they will make available the a link to our collateral material, which will give you the pricing within that particular program document as well. Thank you. Credits for the MBA? No, unfortunately not. But as I've mentioned before, there is the RPL possibility, and those are with the University of Free State towards a bachelor's degree in management and leadership, and then with the University of Lincoln in the UK towards a Bachelor of Honours degree with the focus on HR and as well as leadership as the options as well.
Just to be clear, I think one of the participants have asked about online EDP. So we only have the MDP in online and SMDP in online. There's no EDP on online and the online modality. It's just with face-to-face. Okay.
Thanks, Dorisha. Payment options. I'm just want to see. I have now embarrassed myself by calling people, and then because I can't see so nicely on my screen where people are.
I can probably help you, Kevin, if you like.
Thanks, Trish. Yeah, that's just a question around payment options available for the program.
Okay, so with these kind of off-the-shelf programs, the requirement is for payment upfront. If it's a company paying on your behalf as a student, then if we receive a purchase order from the company, that's also acceptable. And if you're paying for yourself, there is in the collateral an option to use Capitec Bank as a student loan option. They give a very favorable rate. But there is unfortunately not a sort of a tranche payment arrangement once the program launches. You can pay in advance in tranches as long as the full amount is paid upfront before you start. So that's the payment options.
Thank you, Trish. Thanks for that answer. Okay. Yaku, you were asking about the 5 consecutive days for the remote option. Yes, that is correct. So in total, it's 15 days of contact time there. But if we have a closed cohort, in other words, if it's only your organization, then one can look at how we can structure those 5 days per study block, provided that we still complete the program within the period that the program is registered. So yes, if you just join the open program, then that is 5 consecutive days of contact time. The next step, I can't pronounce that name, Watiyu, with regards to when the course starts. I see Chanel has provided you with the link there so that you can just look at the date that you would like to go, and then from there you'll be able to apply to do the course. Okay. Right. Tech. Kagiso, the EDP, the NQF level of the EDP is NQF 8, as Dorisha already indicated to you as well. Thanks. Okay. Seems like we've covered most of it. If there is a question that wasn't answered and you worry that we are ignoring it, maybe you can just raise your hand or just sort of switch your microphone on and maybe ask the question as well. We don't want you to leave having a question that wasn't answered for you. You're welcome, Gary. Romanus Kampungu. I think, Dorisha, that question is probably for you. Oh, Dima did answer that. Okay, thanks, Dima. Thanks. Romanus, I trust that you've seen Dima's response there for you. Thanks. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, just as the last option also, Chanel Cromot also just provided the link for the EDP. So you're more than welcome to go onto that link if you still need information around the EDP. And thank you for your attention today. On that note, it doesn't look like I can see any more. Oh, here's another question coming. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attendance. And we're really looking forward to welcoming you to on any of our programs as we continue to partner with our clients to enhance and lead our people to greater effectiveness as leaders. And on the slide that you see right now, if you would like to maybe just do a screen grab or take a photo, that's the contact detail for Charmaine Mitchell. That's her contact details for the remote SMDP. And with regard to the online SMDP, please contact Duncan Nisi, and that's his contact detail as well. On that note, have a wonderful afternoon. And as you navigate your time away from your desk to grab a cup of coffee or a glass of water, please be careful. Looking forward to welcoming you very soon to an information session again. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.